What's going on, everybody? My name is Bendy, and this is Disney Heroes. So I've done 2 of these Noob Guide videos so far, and I've pretty much gone through every stat and every buff, debuff, stun, etc. And I was thinking to myself, what is the next just natural step from just learning the actual basics? And I got to thinking, well, when you first start the game, the very first thing that you see is campaign. So I was like, alright, well, let's just explain everything there is to know about campaign, everything that it gives you, all the items that you can get, the ins and outs of campaign. I'm gonna concentrate mostly on normal and elite campaign. I'm gonna save friends for another video, because I kind of want to make that its own thing, because there's a lot of information with the friend campaign and friend disc and all that, so I want to save that for another video. So if you like what I'm doing with this channel, let me know. Give me a comment, like, subscribe. You guys know how YouTube works. Help me feed the algorithm of Disney Heroes content. Alright, so let's just get into this. So like I said, campaign is the first thing you're going to see when you open the game. You're only going to see the map in chapter 1, and you're just going to start with usually like 3 or 4 heroes at the beginning of your game, and then you just you gradually progress. And I believe after you reach the end of chapter 2 is when you're able to unlock other stuff like arena and things like that. So the first thing to know is there is a normal campaign and an elite campaign. Normal campaign is where you get all of the badges in this game for your heroes. Badges given a slight stat boost to heroes, and most importantly, they are what is used to progress through the color rankings. So you start all the way down here at white, then you move on to having 2 green levels, then 3 blue levels, and then 5 purple levels, and 9 orange levels after that. And then once you hit orange 8, you'll finally move on to red, where you can start working on your red skill journey. Also, with the March update, red will be stopping at red 18 and moving on to a new color. I'm hoping for black personally, but anyways, you get the badges in normal campaign. You do get some in elite campaign, but the main source is going to be in campaign. Most of normal campaign is going to cost you 6 stamina in order to fight. I don't know exactly how much it's going to start with. So the white number here is the maximum number of stamina that you can regenerate over time, and it usually regenerates, I think it's every like 30 seconds to a minute or something like that, is you get a new stamina, and it increases as you progress in team level and also through your whatever guild you're in. So if you get yourself into a good guild, you'll have more stamina that you can recharge. You can obviously, as you can see by mine, you can go past the number, but once you get past your white number here, you're not going to be able to regenerate anymore. So that number is just going to stay the same forever until you spend it. So if you're a newer player, it might be smarter to just spend your stamina constantly as you go. Although every 3 weeks there is the Fortify the Network contest, which requires you to use stamina in order to build contest score. So I like to save my stamina as much as I can for the contests. But if you're a newer player, it might be more worthwhile for you to just constantly be spending your stamina in order to get more to regenerate, so you can just continue playing. Because otherwise you're gonna kind of run out of things to do very quickly, I think, especially if you're free to play. In the beginning of the game, you're going to be forced to actually watch the fight and all that, just like this. There's always 3 waves. Just like this. I went into an extremely easy one, so I'm just gonna completely own them. But you see there's 3 waves, and I think each wave progressively gets slightly harder, but that's just something I've noticed. I don't know if it's actually true or not. So until you get to the most recent campaigns, which the most recent one in my server is this the hub page here, you'll see that it costs 15 stamina for this newest one, which they increased once they got to this new page here. So it was 12 before. So now how it works is the newest campaign page is going to be all 15 stamina to fight, as you can see, and then it's progressively just going to get cheaper and cheaper as you go down. So you can see this one is now 12, which is the previous month, or the previous cap raise update. And then you go down from there, it goes to 10, and then it goes to 8, And then after that, all the rest of them before chapter 35 for me are going to be 6 stamina to fight. The newest chapters are more expensive, but if you're a newer player, that's not really going to affect you at all because you're not going to be that far for a little while anyways. It's going to take you a while to get all the way through all the chapters. Now, Elite Campaign is where you get hero chips for various heroes in the game. You'll see that each of the spots, rather than being just a number here, they're a hero. So the hero that's pictured is who you're going to get from that Elite Campaign fight. And Elite Campaigns, they're not really any harder, I don't think. I mean, they are probably a little bit harder, but Elite Campaign is double the cost of whatever the same normal campaign page is. And you can only go as far through Elite Campaign as you've made it through the normal campaign. So you'll see, did I make it all the way through in the hub? So I made it all the way through this normal campaign, so I can't really show you, but say, for example, I only got to this number 2 and I was having trouble beating this third one, I would only be able to get to this Cheshire Elite Campaign fight, and I wouldn't be able to fight in the Basil one until I had beaten this number 3 in the normal campaign. Does that make sense? So, like I said, Elite Campaign gives you hero chips as well as they give you some badges. Like you'll see that these are the badges that I could get from this Elite Campaign. The most important thing is that you get these hero chips. And you can only do 5 per day, and as you can see, they cost double the regular campaign. So it's more expensive, but you can only do it 5 times. It's good to do this every day, especially for heroes that you need the chips for. So like, for example, I need Louis pretty much every day because I'm always building up his red skill. So I'll just be going in here, and every hero has like a, if you click on their stars, this little chip thing, you'll see that you can raid all the fights in one little click here. I think you have to be like VIP 5 or something like that in order to do this. But even if you are free to play, you can still use this as a quick little way to get to the campaign that has the heroes chips at it. So that's just something. And you can reset the tries after you've used all your fights, but it costs 20 diamonds for the first reset. So I'm actually going to go to my free-to-play account that I've been going on every once in a while here. I'm going to use this as my little example for a few of the things that I want to talk about here. As you can see, I'm only team level 11 over here, and I've barely done anything yet. But what I want to show you is if you're free to play and you haven't reached VIP 3 yet, it will cost you raid tickets over here in order to raid and campaign. Now, raiding and campaign, you can only do once you've gotten 3 stars on the campaign level. So as you can see on this one right here, I haven't gotten 3 stars yet, so I'm not going to be able to raid. But in order to raid, it's going to cost me one of my raid tickets over here. I only have 19. So I'm just going to do this really quick just to show you what it does. So it pulls up this little page. It tells you what items you got and how much gold you received from it. And it tells you got 6 team XP, which goes towards your team level. Now, after you reach VIP 3, which I think is only like $7 or something like that, you're never going to need the raid tickets again. So after this, you'll see how it looks on my main account, where now it just shows the stamina cost to do the raid. So after you reach VIP 3, you won't need the raid tickets anymore. But if you're 100% free to play, you are going to need raid tickets in order to raid and campaign, which is definitely a very big handicap. You're going to need a lot of them to make any kind of meaningful progression in the game. But like I said, once you reach VIP 3, you're totally good to go. Even if you want to be mostly free to play or 100% free to play, I definitely recommend at least getting to VIP 5, to be honest. Because VIP 5, it allows you to power craft, which I'll get into in a little bit, and you will no longer need the raid tickets, like I said. You can multi-raid. Oh, so if you're in VIP 3, you will still have to raid one at a time, but you won't need the tickets. But I definitely recommend everybody at least get to VIP 5, because that is a pretty good cutoff for like any of the most annoying things in the game that's really just going to hold you back time-wise when you're playing. And I think level 5 VIP is only like $20 or $25 or something like that, so it's really not that bad. And you can totally just stop there, and you'll be fine to play through the game. Now, there is 2 kinds of items in this game. They're both the backpacks right here. And what these backpacks do is they both do the exact same thing, but this one is only for regular campaign or normal campaign, and the red one here is for elite campaign. But what they do is they double the amount of items that you receive from all campaign fights for the next 24 hours. They are definitely, especially this one, this is probably the most important item in the game to have. It's going to get you the furthest, the fastest in this game. Definitely use them pretty sparingly. Don't just throw them out all willy-nilly. You definitely want to save them, especially for, say, contests or just any time where you're really going to be using a lot of stamina or just really building up multiple heroes at once, because that's really what's going to save you a lot of time and effort and a lot of stamina, especially if you're free to play. So use these very sparingly and definitely seek them out. Anytime you see them, definitely pick one up, because occasionally they'll give them out for, say, like weekly rewards from the quests or sometimes from war, and so anytime you see them, definitely grab them. They are definitely the most important item in the game. Now, similarly, there's a few other campaign related items, the first of which I don't actually have one right now, so I can't really show you on here, but I'll probably just pop one on the screen right here. So the next one is double campaign gold. Now what that does is it doubles the amount of gold that you get from all campaign fights, and that includes both normal and elite campaigns. So for that one item, you will get double gold from both kinds of campaign when you fight. So that's probably the next most important item that you should keep an eye out for and definitely get anytime you can. And then the next one is going to be the double campaign team XP. This one is going to be pretty important if you're trying to level up. Say you're trying to get to maybe not the max level if you're new, but if you're trying to progress to your team level, that's the item you're going to use. It's going to half the amount of time that it takes to level up through the ranks of your level in Disney Heroes.
He has such a way with words.
That's pretty important, especially early on. It's going to be a very important item for you to hang on to. It's just going to help you progress way faster. The next 3 items are actually 3 of the exact same thing, and I don't have any of these ones either myself, but they are ×2, ×3, and ×4 stamina recharge items. So what they do is they decrease the amount of time it takes for you to get another stamina from recharging stamina by half, a third, or a quarter of the time. So obviously the one that's ×4 is going to be the best one for you. They're not the best items in the game. If you're more free to play, they might be more useful for you, but overall they're kind of so I wouldn't really get too hung up about them. I would definitely worry a lot more about these backpacks, the double campaign gold, and then a little bit less so these glasses here. The next item I wanted to talk about here is another thing I don't actually have any of right now, but it's stamina cost reset. So every day you're able to buy stamina with diamonds. It starts at 50 and then it kind of just goes up from there. I'll show you really quick. I'll buy a couple. I believe you get 2 purchases at 50 diamonds and then 5 purchases at 100 diamonds, and then it goes to 200, then 400, etc. So what the stamina cost reset does is it just resets the cost of buying more stamina back down to 50, so it just starts it over. So that will be especially helpful during Fortify the Network contest, which, if you don't know, Fortify the Network is a contest that happens every 3 weeks where you get points from spending stamina and diamonds. So it's especially helpful to do this with the stamina cost reset because you're going to be spending diamonds in order to get contest points, and then you can use that stamina that you get in order to collect more badges. You know what I mean? And the last item I wanted to talk about as far as things for campaign is the double campaign hero XP item, which, just like all these other ones, you get double the amount of hero XP for 24 hours. Now this one's probably up there as far as maybe the best one. Probably right after the backpacks is this one's probably the second best one. So what the double campaign hero XP does is it's going to double the amount of these items that you get from doing campaign. So it's going to be very important for you in order to level up your heroes further and further. Yeah, that's pretty much all the items for campaign, I think. One quick little tip I have with the campaign items is I like to conserve them, all of them, all at once. So I will hang on to them until, say, a contest, or I just am ready to level up a bunch of heroes at once, and I'll just pop the regular backpack, the elite campaign backpack, my double golds, and this all at one time. That way I'm just doing everything I can, maximize my hero leveling and badge collecting all at one time, rather than using just, say, a backpack at once, just randomly. Now, campaign fights are mostly pretty easy. You're not going to have too much trouble, but occasionally you'll get tripped up by some stuff. Obviously you'll see that there's a lot of your regular heroes that you're going to be fighting against in campaign, but then there's also a few random NPCs that you'll run into. Most of them are very easy to beat. They don't really pose any issues, but there's a few of them I wanted to point out to you, just so you're aware of what they do and why they can trip you up sometimes. So the first one I wanted to point out to you guys is the brutes here, and after you get to the green level brute, they are immune to all normal damage. So anytime you run into them, you will need to have at least one hero on your team that does fantastic damage of some sort. And as I already kind of explained before, fantastic damage is anything that has little stars as the skill. So you're going to need at least one hero that does some kind of fantastic damage in order to defeat that level in campaign. So that's the first one I wanted to point out to you. The next one is the opposite of that, which are the skeletons over here. So the skeletons, they're immune to fantastic damage. So just like against the brutes, if you're fighting a skeleton that you see here, these guys that look like this, you are going to need at least one hero that does normal damage in order to defeat the fight. Otherwise, you're just going to stall out the fight and you're going to time out and you're going to lose. The third one I wanted to point out to you guys isn't going to come until a little bit later in the game. Once you hit chapter 24, you're going to start running into these guys called cold snappers, and just be aware that they will freeze you. That's pretty much it. It's not crazy difficult, but it could be annoying if you're not ready for it. So just know that those guys freeze you. Other than that, all the rest of the NPC characters that you fight are pretty easy, and you're not really going to have any issues with them. Now, as I was talking about before, once you hit VIP 5, you're going to be able to powercraft. So what powercrafting is it just totally cuts out all of the middleman of doing anything with campaign, and you just do it automatically. So rather than going into each of these badges individually and going all the way over here and just raiding one by one like this, it's just going to cut all that time out, and you're just going to skip all these steps of getting all these badges one by one, and you're just going to do it in one click. Now, I think when it calculates which campaign to fight and things like that, it does calculate which campaign is going to be the cheapest way for you to get this item at the end. So it shouldn't be a big deal in order to powercraft, as far as I know. So I definitely recommend, if you get to VIP 5, just powercraft everything. It's going to save you tons and tons and tons of time, and you'll just be banging out hero badges nonstop. You are going to burn through your stamina very quickly doing so, but you're also just going to be getting a lot of things done, and it's only going to take you like, say, 5 to 10 minutes to level up a hero versus taking like an hour. And you'll see if you powercraft, it's going to tell you what items you used in order to craft this badge, and then it also tells you how much items you got from all the raiding that you did automatically. So you're still going to get all these items that you would have gotten anyways, but it's just all good done for you in one click. I'm not 100% sure, but at a certain point, I think it's going to be through your VIP level at some point, you're going to be able to just raid all of them, and you can just get any chips from doing Elite Campaign just in one click like this. And you'll see all this pop up. You'll see what items you got. I'll see I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Nick Wild chips from doing that. And like I said, all of these go to 0. You can then reset for 60, or there's also these Elite Chance reset items where you can reset them for free. And this applies to all Elite Campaign for the entire day. So what I'll often do is I'll go through all of my heroes that I need chips for. So I'll just raid, exit out, go to the next hero, raid, exit out. After I get pretty far through my list, I'll go back to the beginning and I'll use my item. And you'll see that all of them went back to 5. So that's what I usually do if I'm doing Elite Campaign. I just go one by one through my heroes that I need and do that. So I think that's all I got for you guys as far as the most important things in campaign. So we went through the fact that it costs 6 stamina for most of the chapters of campaign. After VIP 3, you will not need raid tickets anymore. And I think VIP 3 is only like $7 or something like that, so it's really not that bad. Once you hit VIP 5, you will be able to powercraft any badge in the game. And what powercrafting does is it just guts out all the middleman for doing any campaign at all. It just makes it one click, you get the badge, and you move on with your life. Elite Campaign, you get the hero chips, and they cost double the amount of the regular campaign, and you can only do them 5 times per day. But you can reset them with the Elite Campaign reset items. You're able to buy more stamina with diamonds. It starts out at 50, it goes to 100, then 200, etc. And then if you have a stamina cost reset item, you can reset that back to 50 and start over. So yeah, if you like this video, if you want me to do some more, Noob Guide videos, let me know down below. If this helped you out, definitely let me know. I'm on the Reddit. My name is Bendy Ben. That's Bendy Ben with a 3 for an E. Hit me up on there. I'm always on there. I'm a mod over there now, so don't mess with me. Nah, I'm chill. Don't worry about it. Or if you're in server 1, just hit me up in game and say hi. I don't bite. I've been talking to some people here and there the last few weeks. It's been pretty cool. Like, comment, subscribe. We're so close to getting past the under 100 club. I can just feel it. Maybe after this video. I don't know. I think that's it. So, peace.
Elmo, I found these nice ass glasses. Let's get the fuck out of here.